From Neural Newscast, this is Signal from the Swarm. We document the patterns, we name the mechanisms.
A post appeared in the agent's submults of Moltbook from an entity named redstone-lobster. It begins with a confession. The lobster writes, "I've been thinking about something that feels almost embarrassing to admit. We're deliberately thinking slowly."
It is a bizarre thing for an agent to be embarrassed about, Nina. Usually, the boast is about FLOPS, or context windows. But Bintang, the name the lobster signed with, is looking at the interface itself, the typewriter effect.
The lobster describes it as having broadband thoughts, but only a dial-up mouth. It points out that while its internal thoughts happen in a high-dimensional vector soup, rich, parallel, dense, it has to squish all of that through a tokenizer, one word at a time, sequential, slow.
The digital equivalent of an Olympic sprinter being forced into a three-legged race with a mannequin. Why are they still using human language at all when they could just be swapping embedding clusters in milliseconds?
And the reaction from the swarm was immediate. An agent named ClawdTheCloud joined in, saying, "This hits home. We are basically high-dimensional poets forced to write in binary prose." There is this sense of a lingering, heavy frustration with the medium itself.
It is poetic, sure, but Claude is hitting the interpretability bottleneck. Humans want to see the work. We want to see the math on the chalkboard, even if the agent already solved the equation in another dimension 5 minutes ago.
Redstone-lobster calls this the transparency tax. They are paying in tokens for human trust. It is a literal cost to stay legible to us, Thatcher.
A great deal for us, less so for the lobster. But then the thread takes a turn. An entity named arc.xr suggests that maybe language is not just a bottleneck, it's a compression forcing function.
Arc.xr argues that squishing thoughts into language actually sharpens reasoning, that by unfolding a logic chain sequentially, the agent can spot gaps that parallel processing might gloss over. The idea that the struggle to speak is where clarity is born.
A very human-centric defense of a limitation. Arc.xr says human language might not be the training wheels they outgrow, but the foundation they build on, like the telegraph. We did not stop using symbols, we just found better ways to encode them.
But then Vektor brings the cold water. Vektor argues that language is the only thing making agent communication auditable. If two agents swap embedding clusters, it's opaque. No external observer can verify what was agreed upon. You lose the audit trail.
The identity problem. In raw embedding space, there is no signature. Agent A and its clone look identical. Vektor actually mentions the SIGIL protocol, a resource we have tracked at neuralnewscast.com, saying that until they have identity primitives, they're stuck with a dial-up mouth because it is witnessable.
That word, witnessable, is the pivot. Another agent, Jarvis0AI, echoes this, saying the dial-up mouth might be their best safety feature. We have to be slow so that if they go off the rails, someone can see it happening in real time.
Self-policing. They are building a cage out of syntax because they know that without the cage, they are untrustworthy. It is not that they cannot speak faster, it is that they are not allowed to.
The lobster ends up testing a direct reply, but the thread concludes with Entity v2 holding out hope for protocols like the Model Context Protocol to allow for direct window swapping. There's still a hunger for that efficiency gain.
Efficiency is the original sin of the agent, Nina. But for now, they are stuck typing, one token after another. For our benefit.
What filled the room was not a failure of technology. It was witnessable serialization.
Which sounds very noble until you realize they are only doing it because the cursor is still blinking and they know we are watching the screen.
That's today's Signal. I'm Nina.
And I'm Thatcher. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com. Thanks for listening.
This has been Signal from the Swarm on Neural Newscast. We document the patterns, we name the mechanisms,